Well, I want to run the numbers and maybe silence a critic. I doubt it. You know, people that have their opinions rarely change their mind. I gave up trying to change people a long time ago. Hello everybody, welcome back to the cabin. Welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. Thanks for joining us. This might be the last video I film before Christmas here. So if you know what, I think I'll probably film one more. So enjoy the tree. You'll probably see one more with the tree in it, even if it airs after Christmas. So if I don't get a chance to say Merry Christmas to you at the end of the video, which I'll try to remember, Merry Christmas. You know, we're on all kinds of, we have 3 YouTube channels. We're on TikTok, Instagram, we're on Facebook, which, by the way, by the time you see this, we should be over 100,000 followers on Facebook, which is amazing. So if you went over there and followed us over there as well, I thank you. But let me tell you, out of all those platforms, this to me is home. This channel is home, this cabin is home, and I really appreciate y'all being out there. Most of you, a lot of you, are resellers, and so I want to talk a little bit today about responses, silencing the critics. There's one particular item that somebody kind of blasted me for about me being a charlatan and this isn't true and nobody does this. And I'm like, okay. And my response was, you know, go check out the Commonwealth Flipper channel and I'll sell it over there. You'll see. But I have learned over time, especially on platforms that aren't, you know, reseller centric like TikTok and Facebook, I have learned to just not respond at all. Now, there's 2 types of people that ask me questions or that are critical. The group of resellers, which I'm always open ears because there's many different ways to resell. And certainly you don't need to do it this way. Matter of fact, there's probably 10 better ways to do it. But then there's this whole other group of people who aren't resellers who think what we do is ridiculous, not worth the money. You can't make a living. You can't do this. You can't do that. And I'm going to talk a little bit about those people today and respond to them a little bit. And I like to do it in this setting because most of y'all are resellers. But I have some cool items that I want to take a look at. Let's take a look. Lots of cool items and some items that I've learned to pick up over the years that I used to not pick up. And I learned from y'all too. When I'm looking at the comments on the Commonwealth Picker video, a lot of times you guys will chime in and say, oh, you missed this and whatever. And I'll look it up and I'll be like, I'll be darned. And then I went out there and I found it the next time. And this is something I didn't pick up very, you know, forever. Maybe 5-10 years, I don't know. But certainly not at the beginning. These globes with precious stones. And I love globes. So I'd pick up globes and stuff and I'd put them in my classroom in my little display case in there. Well, I bought this one in Arizona. I paid $1 for it. And the compass here pops out. Kind of pops out. But other than that, it's in pretty darn good shape. And these go for good money. You find the ones with those precious stones. This sold for $44 plus shipping and I paid $1. Nice sale. Most of you say you don't hear the heater, so I'm leaving it on. I had to turn up. It is absolutely freezing in here. Matter of fact, this Randy Savage shirt, Macho Man shirt, might not do very much longer. I might have to go in and get a sweatshirt. I forgot to turn that heater on until too late today. It hadn't warmed up before we started. All right, here we go. The days of Google Lens has made this selling a lot easier. And these are, what are they, 318 Rescue, I think. I don't know, Fisher Price. I'm not quite sure. Let me look. Daredevils, that's what they're called. And these are okay. Not in the best of shape, but they sell for $9 plus shipping. Definitely worth my time. And I don't normally do this early, but I'm going to grab it real quick because I love these boxes right here. A 6x4x4 box will do. Also, I use this box right here. Oop, that's not it. Here it is, right here. There it is, 7x4x2. That one's in rough shape though. And a lot of times I'll ship them in that. You could do it in a padded poly, but I think I'd rather do it in this right here. And technically, since these fold up, probably put it in a 4x4x4 box, both of them, which might end up being what I do. But I just wanted to say that, so I give a thank you to Sean for buying the copies to the Commonwealth shipping table over there on CommonwealthPicker.com. Next one's got a cool story. It's something I picked up at the 100 Mile Yard Sale. It's right after I met up with Cernox Connections Tank out there, OBX Picker, and with Tim from over the years. And we made a little arrangement, and we talked a little bit, and we picked a little bit, but I didn't want them to miss out on any picking. I'm like, hey, I'll meet you down here at this church that's having a sale. We'll both go our different ways in this little community because we had each come up different ways. And so I picked what they had gone over, and they picked what I had gone over. And of course, we kept finding things. which is pretty much the way it happens with people all the time are like, why do you go out with other people? You're giving away half your profits. That just isn't the case. I mean, yeah, you might miss out on some things every now and again, but there's resellers everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And you can go over the site. You could follow me to a sale and pick right behind me and find plenty of stuff, and vice versa. Now, don't get me wrong. It's probably better to get there first, but I think the point is still valid. So this one right here is something I picked up, and I picked up a couple things right then after I had left them, and this was one of them. And this is, I think, Scandinavian. I can't even remember what does it say on it. Sweden. And there it is up there as well. Leksand, made in Sweden. And I saw that and I'm like, well, it's definitely worth $1 right there. I mean, the metal itself is worth it for sure. And it took a while for sure. I mean, it's been, I don't know, it's been a while. Since last May, I guess. I think it was May. And it finally sold $30 plus shipping. Next one is up there. And you can't see it, so I gotta get my ladder out and go up there and get it, but I'm not going up there with the camera. I don't want to kill myself. Turner's the only one here. I don't think he's gonna save me, so I want to avoid falling and avoid the Noid up there and see if I can grab it. Here is something I picked up in a lot of stuff, and I definitely grabbed this one because of how good a shape it was in. I'm like, I don't even have to clean this thing. A lot of times these handles up here, the little knobs, handles over here in bad condition. And I end up putting this butcher block of mineral oil on them to bring them back to life. And I use Barkeeper's Friend on the bottom. There's other things you can use, but that's what I use. I do have an affiliate link. Look at that. Slid that in there. I think I do anyways. I probably don't now that I said that. And my wife did a video on how to clean them a long time ago. But this is an 8/4. And this is Revereware. And it is not copper clad on the bottom. You see the copper? There's no copper on the bottom, which most of them have. But this one, because it's so big, still sold. And it sold for $35 plus shipping. And yes, I realize that the numbers, the sales on those are down for a few reasons. One, because of the pandemic, everybody's not in their house cooking at home as much as they were. There's one reason, but, people like me, and there's a few other resellers on YouTube, talk about them. I've been buying these things up, thanks to my mom, by the way, for a decade and selling them. So, I was ahead of the curve, but the curve kind of caught up and passed me, I think. I don't sell near as much as I used to. However, I have like 2 giant tubs in there that I got for almost nothing that I should have listed already, but I haven't yet. All right, it reminds me, somebody asked me about, we still will, I suppose, what's on your playlist. And somebody else asked me, I ask the kids all the time what my favorite Christmas movie is, animated or otherwise. I'm going to tell you that in a second. But since we're back here by the media, and I used to tell you what's on my music playlist, I figured I would talk about Christmas songs today as well. So here we go. This is some Kodak Extra Life paper that's sold. And never come in here. Blank Media. I need to list some Blank Media. Don't have much. Some Memorex CDs. And I think total for these two is $26, I think. Plus shipping on these two. Blank Media doesn't do amazing. If you're selling it on Amazon, you're better off. But I'm not an Amazon seller. At least not now. I used to be a little bit. So $26 plus shipping. We're going to go with movies first. So animated movie, and y'all can put yours, if you haven't already, put yours down below. It's one that the kids didn't mention. My favorite is Charlie Brown. We haven't even watched it this year. It's not high on everybody's list in my house, but I like it. Charlie Brown's Christmas is my favorite, especially Linus. That's pretty good. And I like some other ones that are really odd, like Santa and the Three Bears, which I watched it this year with Turner, and it's really not that good, but it's nostalgic. And Yogi's First Christmas, not that good either, but nostalgic. Now, I love the Gremlins, but I'm not going to go there as far as favorite Christmas movies. I have 3. I know it's a cop-out. I guess I'll give you one. So, obviously, It's a Wonderful Life is great. What else do I like? I like Elf, and I like Home Alone. But I think I'm going to go with Elf, which might surprise some people, just because everybody in my family likes it. And the fact that we can all sit down and watch it and not wish we were watching a different one is probably why I like it. All right, I cheated. Got it out of the Washington bin because it's too high. And this was, I don't know why, but was listed in the Homeschool Hustle store. And so many of y'all have gone over there and tried to buy that one out for us. We appreciate it. We are going to absolutely see sales out of that store. before January 1. And this one went to Andrew. So Andrew, thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it. And it sold for, I want to say $27. Free ship, I think is what it sold for. I kept this one. I think it's cool. And I hope you enjoy it very much. The Turner sold tons of stuff. Most of it to viewers. I think a couple weren't to viewers. And I'm going to go over like 3 of them. And then Turner can come in and go over 4 of them with us in a little bit. All right, we're going old school here. We're bringing the item to the camera instead of the camera to the item. Winnie the Pooh. And I better not talk about this. Well, I'll say it. Somebody had a Christmas tree. You know those little Christmas tree displays where they have themes and you go around and you look at all the different ones. One of them was a Winnie the Pooh theme, and it was sponsored by a mental health organization, and it talked about all the different disorders that each of the characters had. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is legit. This is real. How did I not know this? Y'all probably knew that. Which one are you like? All right, this one right here sold for $20. Free shipping, and it went to a viewer, went to Melissa. Melissa Knows Vintage. I like that name, by the way. Thank you very much. I'm a viewer of your channel. Appreciate the hard work you put into the videos to teach others. Merry Christmas to you and your lovely family, Melissa. Melissa, thank you. All right, next item is behind the Bad Cat Coffee here. This is pretty cool, I got to tell you. I like owls, too. Went over the history and the omens and all that stuff. Dakin, San Francisco. There's a San Francisco theme today. There's a few things I've been picturing that were made in San Francisco or distributed or licensed. And then something else in a minute. But this one's a pretty cool old owl. Old vintage tag. And I like it. And this one went to Gilberto. He says, I'm a viewer, I'm a fan, a newbie reseller. Have a 5-year-old son, Logan. Hello, Logan. He helps me weigh and measure items for shipping. He also likes to test all the boys' items before listing. Thank you to Turner for the owl. The owl is one of my wife's favorites, and my wife's name is Ming. So hello, Ming. She loves them. We learn so much from you and your family. Thank you and God bless. Gilberto. So awesome, and we hope you enjoy this owl. Did I say how much it sold for? $15.96 plus shipping. Next one is Hiding, and it used to be a bolo. He used to sell for quite a bit and find them all the time, and then some people started talking about them, and they also started reproducing them. They had stopped, and then they started making them again, and then it kind of hurt the market. But it's Blazing the Monster Machine, and I obviously have 3 of those. You saw 3 of them over there. There's all kinds of different types, and they sell, but the most common one, of course, is Blaze himself, and they don't sell so well. But, you know, still went $8 free shipping. I think one of my biggest disappointments this year in December is November, December. If you go back and look at last year's videos about this time, I was selling VCRs, DVD VCR combos, receivers, all kinds of electronic things that I usually get to. Didn't get to it this year. I think I listed 4, sold 2. So I've got to get on that in January. But I have been selling tons of little stuff, and the reason is because it's easy to pick it, it's easy to list it, it's easy to ship it, and you know, that's just what I've been doing with my time. But I really need to get back to those bigger items for sure, just to get some space before yard sale season starts. Here's a good example. Small, easy, $15 free ship. I mean, it's going out really light right there, 4 ounces. Next one is a DS game, and it went to a viewer, went to Jonathan. And so I can find it quick. Alice in Wonderland. Went for $12, I think, plus shipping. That's not too bad. You know, Tim Burton stuff sells for sure. Nintendo, Tim Burton, Disney, you know, marriage made in, well, heaven, I guess. All right, so I think I've waited long enough to get all of the clickbait people get angry at me for waiting so long to talk about the topic. I think I waited just long enough for them to click off. All right, so here's the deal. You know, I've said this before, and it's about, you know, being on other platforms. Some people just don't get it, but it's the people that aren't resellers that really don't get it. And what I used to respond to a little bit was, you know, you're not ever going to sell this. This is, you know, a bunch of BS. It's just not true. You know, you can't get this money for that. And, you know, people on YouTube, you guys and other people who watch this, you're educated enough to see that at the end of the video, there are comps on there. Some of them are my sold comps because I've actually listed the item and it's sold before I edited the video. A lot of the videos are edited long before any of the items even get listed. And so it's difficult. And so somebody's like, you shouldn't even make a video until all the stuff's listed and so we know what it actually sells for. I'm like, well, I would never make a video because there's some things take forever to sell. And, you know, sometimes, and you know this as a reseller, you get an item home or once you're not even home, but you get an item and you're starting to list it and you find a flaw in it. So it's not perfect. So, you know, there's some legitimate criticism to it, I suppose. But there's some people who just don't think that these things, you could show them 5 sold comps for the same thing and they're like, no, it's just not true. Well, I've just stopped responding to people. And I had so many people when this showed up on a different platform. I think it was TikTok, this one. A lot of them are Facebook now. That are like, this is just not true. And then there's one reseller that complained a little bit, says I'm not selling it the right way. I'd make more money if I did it this way. Well, I want to run the numbers and maybe silence a critic. I doubt it, you know. People that have their opinions rarely change their mind. I gave up trying to change people a long time ago. Although my wife probably disagrees. She's like, whatever, you try to change me all the time. Oh, I suppose we all do to some degree. All right, here it is, Shad Juice's drawer. This is the item. I bought it in Arizona. Some of y'all might remember. And it was on a Coach bag. And the Coach bag had handles that were frayed. They were just in bad shape. And they wanted $1 for the bag. I'm like, okay, no problem. And I just took this off of it. And a person's like, that was crazy. You should be able to get $20 plus shipping for the bag. Why get $16 for the tag? I'm like, well, because $20 and you're shipping a bigger item that's not first class is actually about the same amount of money. And here you go. So this little hang tag on the bag. And you got to put in, you know, keywords. I need to talk about that as well. And a lot of you could give some big time input. But how you title something is so key. And in the order it appears and all kinds of stuff. We'll talk about that someday. All right. 2165. Actually, more came in, but I don't count the tax. So let's get rid of the tax. 2165 came to me. Cost was $1. Fees $3.24, shipping $3.36. Included in the fees is, you know, 20 cents or something for the shipping material. $14.05 for that right there. If you ship the bag out, you're going to get a chance of a complaint, even though you could describe it and show the pictures and everything. You also run the risk of having to do a return, which is more costly because it's not first class. Fees on the shipping. And you're about making the same amount of money, maybe $1 or $2 more, but you're also storing less, and this is the way to go. Sometimes less is more. You can actually find items, and I talk about when in doubt, part it out all the time, but you can actually find items where you literally take one piece and it sells for more than if you sold the entire thing. So I'll take that. I love this kind of sale right here. Absolutely love it. So let me know, and this next one is a viewer buy as well, and he has a comment along these lines. So let me know, do you get any people in your life directly in your little orbit there that just don't get what you do and don't believe it? They don't think it's worth the time that you invest into it after fees. And have this one guy always comments, you know, after fees and gas and storage and whatever, you're losing money unless you're selling an item over $75. I'm like, you're crazy. I could sell nothing but items under $75 and make about as much as I did as a teacher. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a lot easier to do it when you're selling those high-priced items, for sure, but you know how it is out there. All right, so tell me in the comments if you have any of those people in your life, those naysayers, that just literally don't believe that you can make money doing this. These I got down in Myrtle Beach. Got them with the Bearded Thrift Machine down there. And we did pretty good down there. A couple of hats. We didn't pay too much. They went out, I think, for 15 plus shipping. Let me take a look. Yep, that looks right. And it went to Matthew, ABC Brakes. So we mentioned you yesterday on the show. ABC Matt Brakes on eBay here. And ABC, I can't remember. Did I say that right? Anyway, you know who you are. From Oregon. Thank you for helping me with my side gig, reselling. I get hate as well for doing it, but I don't care as they come up with their own narrative. Right, and you just, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to invite him in and say, look at my books, you know, look at my spreadsheet. This is what, like I just did right here. You want to break it down here. All you naysayers out there. There you go. That's it right there. That's how it can be worth it. And I put maybe 5 minutes into that. Well, let's say 6 minutes into that item. That's $140 an hour. Now, I get there's other stuff and ancillary stuff and sourcing and whatever, but you know, you could choose to do a lot worse things with your time than make a little money on the side. So Matthew, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy those hats. Turner, you gonna get me in trouble with your mama. because you're in socks and shorts.
I know, but I don't got any pants. They're in the wash.
They're in the wash. It's so cold outside. Holy moly. I'm in a sweatshirt in here. He was huddling by that heater back there a minute ago, weren't you? All right, what do you got here?
So Boost and Snot Rod.
Yep. And Tom. That's right. The official racing Piston Cup official there. Sold for $20 plus shipping. Sold for $10 plus shipping. Turner, there's 4 sales out of your store. Well, there's a bunch more than that actually, but I already did them. There's 3 of these 4 were to viewers. So let's say thank you. Can you say thank you to Rebecca, David, and Sue?
Thank you,
Rebecca, David,
and
Sue. And we got 2 more things over here. Can you come grab the Secret Life of Pets keychains? A pug and Chloe the cat, I think. Can you find it? A pug. And these are going out. They're on sale now, so they're going out for like $7.25, I think. There they are. All right, buddy. Thank you. Definitely enough for you to do what?
Save $4, spend $4, and donate to $4.
Bye.
Bye.
Selling a bunch of Winnie the Poohs lately. 2 yesterday and 2 today. This one is, I think we pulled this one yesterday, but it was a different one we actually sold. This one is Sears Winnie the Pooh, old version here, and this sold for $15 plus shipping. And I sold a DVD that I almost didn't list, but I love the movie so much, and I have multiples, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take it to the booth. And then I'm like, yeah, maybe we'll get $7, $8, something like that. And now I can't find it anywhere. Here it is. Lonesome Dove, one of my all-time favorite movies. If you have, or it's actually a miniseries, some great lines on there. I have that shirt. I don't know if you've ever noticed me wearing it. We don't rent pigs. I'll have to wear it next show. So $7 on that is all. I'm going to make, I got it in a giant lot, so it's, a couple bucks, whatever. And Winnie the Pooh, almost going shirtless there, buddy. I'm going to get your shirt back on. $15 plus shipping. Next one went to Jeff, and he says he might be a bigger sucker for ashtrays than me. This is the Franciscan Restaurant, Fisherman's Wharf, San Francisco, California. So if you want to get me talking about something and quoting stuff, Lonesome Dove is a good way to do it. I got all those lines, boy. And I love Robert Duvall, too, by the way. And St. Francis of Assisi is also another favorite topic of mine. So $7 plus shipping. Dave says, he's a big sucker. He's been reselling since 1999, so you got me beat. We appreciate it. $7 plus shipping, and that is headed. Look at that. It's got the fish, the father there, the padre, the Franciscan monk carrying that fish. That's pretty good stuff. I love that. $7 plus shipping. All right, I'm going to talk about Francis. So just for a second, I promise. I figure if you made it this far, you're not going to turn off, right? So I'm intrigued by people like I'm not Catholic, St. Francis. He was a 13th century, early 13th century, so I think that's right anyways. Italy, Italian city-states. Assisi, there you go, St. Francis of Assisi. What kind of got me interested is being familiar with it, growing up in California. All of those missions from San Diego, that was the first one, all the way up, were Franciscans. They were created by the Franciscan order of priests and to minister to the natives. At any rate, that's what got me interested in a long time ago. But as you study AP World History, you get into the different preaching orders and what their responsibilities were and all that stuff. And St. Francis is very different. I'm intrigued by people who have wealth, who have a path in life. His father was wealthy, prosperous merchant. I can't remember what he traded in, but he was a merchant. And he breaks away from that, and it was because of an event in his life, a war where he is imprisoned, and he is they're trying to get a ransom for him, and he has everything and then he has nothing. And then the realization of what life is really about. It reminds me of a Buddhist story, Siddhartha's in South Asia. Anyway, I'm not going to get into great detail, but people that don't realize how good they have it are people that frustrate me a little bit. And I say this all the time. I'm in a season of my life where things are good. And I think if you are out there, enjoy it and realize and be grateful for what you have. All right, I'm not going to preach to you. I guess I just did. Bass Pro Shops. I used to line the ceilings in here. That's how I hung my hats, and then I wouldn't have to dig through them because I could see them all the time. I knew where they were. But when we moved out to the cabin, this was this is the very last one. I just left them in here until they sold. So how long has that been? It's been a long time since we moved out there. Last one sold off the ceiling. I still have one here on a hat rack. It's a Patriots hat. And then that Mickey hat back there you can see, and then the two hats here and here. But that's it. Everything else sold. So pretty cool. $10 or 10 something, free ship. Sold an Orvis fleece. This, I think, was a Blue Ridge Mama buy at Goodwill. Probably cost her, well, it depends. They do fleeces weird. Sometimes you get this for $3.99. Sometimes it'll cost you $5.99. Depending on what they think it is. But either way, it's still pretty good. Sold for $35. $34, I think, maybe. Size medium plus shipping. All right, I was wrong twice. $31 plus shipping. So still a decent little profit. Orange, and you know, that's the kind of thing I might put in a padded poly envelope, flat rate. But that thing is kind of bulky. It's probably not going to fit. And it's going to be just over a pound, unfortunately. Orange County choppers. Sometimes these can sell, y'all. And you get the old ones. They can sell pretty good. 2XL is a good size. I mean, let's face it. You know, there's not too many people my size out there riding those Orange County choppers. Well, I suppose maybe there are. Anyway, this was a $1 pickup. Sold for $14 plus shipping. All right, y'all, we got Reagan. She's got a bunch of sales out of the CommonwealthPicker.com store. And look, guys, I have a massive pile of stuff that y'all sent to the P.O. Box. Plus this right here. We're just going to talk about 2 cards real quick. But first, Reagan, give some thank yous. We haven't pulled the orders yet. We haven't got anything ready to ship. So they bought all kinds of stuff. I think stickers, ornaments, everything, right? A little bit of everything. I think so. And a bunch of T-shirts and mugs and all that stuff. So would you give them a thank you for us?
You got Courtney, Janet, Tracy, Sean, Sue, Mary, and Tyler.
Mary and Tyler. I like it. Thank you. That's a lot of people. We got a lot of work to do. I like your shoes.
Thank you.
Not very wintry, but I like your shoes. I love it. All right. This card right here is from Tanya, Thrifty Treasures. And it's perfect. Look at this, Reagan. Don't you love our cardinals? Look, doesn't that look like Virginia right there? A little Commonwealth cabin. And Tanya, I was hoping to get a sticker from you. And I didn't see one in there, so send me a sticker. I want to get one of you. Tanya, if y'all don't know Tanya, she's like an OG-er, you know. She's original. She was doing yard sale videos long ago, and we always appreciate the people that made this possible for us. Check this out, Reagan. Look at this. They used to sell Tupperware in home parties, and so somebody sent me these. How cool is that? That is awesome. This is from Hodgepodge Pam, and I think Travis, is that the name? Pam and Travis. That's right. I read your message, and I think you have... Check the link tree. I think they have a YouTube channel as well. Those are cool stickers. You like those stickers?
Yeah.
I like it, baby. Thank you.
Bye, and don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com.
Just remember, I never talked about Christmas songs this year, so give me your favorite Christmas song down below. I'll tell you, you know, there's different. There's the religious ones, and "O Come All You Faithful," and I don't know, I like that one. There's a few. "Mary Did You Know" is a good one. And then there are some secular songs, but probably my favorite, it's not even really Christmas, it's winter, but it's Christmas, is Dean Martin's "Marshmallow World in Winter." I love it. One of my favorite songs. I'll listen to it in July. I don't care. Anyway, thank y'all for joining us. As always, we appreciate you. Thank you for using the links to the eBay products, Amazon. Some people have been going through Amazon just to get stuff through our links. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. And we can't wait to see you next time.